Hey y'all, welcome back to Babeinlibrary. It's your girl Lisa, and it is finally time for me to do my top 10 of 2023. So in 2023, I read 138 books. That is a lot to narrow it down to 10, but I will tell you my 10 stood out and keep replaying on my mind. I also have one honorable mention. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and jump into my honorable mention and get us kickstarted. That is going to be Mr. S.A. Cosby's All the Sinners Bleed. This had to go into this video because S.A. Cosby has had the mystery, thriller, suspense game on lock for the last 2 to 3 years for me. Like, this is the third book that I've read from him, and he never misses. Like, if someone does not give this man a recording deal, they're doing themselves a disservice. Like, these books write themselves into script. If you listen to Adam Lazier White, who is the narrator for all of S.A. Cosby's book, he is also an actor. Like, S.A. is giving you the keys. Like, he said, here, I've done all of the hard work. Just record and film and put it out there because the people, I am the people. I want this. This story here, it ruffled a lot of feathers for a lot of people. I will tell you, I understand. This is heavy when it comes to religious context. So please be mindful that there is use of scripture. There is use of characters in the Bible that are placed into this book, but are spent on their head. And I know this kind of is difficult for people to read for a number of reasons. This is extremely heavy, but is extremely relevant as the world is today. S.A. Cosby has done a masterful job of writing the context of what society looks like today, right? So it has discussions about school shootings. It has discussion about Black and brown children going missing. There is conversation related to how religion is used in terms of political strategy, where you have church versus state. You've got the feds with him being a former FBI agent now going into a small town, how small town politics play. Like, so there is a lot of things in here that can make a lot of people very upset because it is close to home, right? This talks about a lot of morals and values that people have and how, depending on the human that is putting the information forward, how they can spin it into a narrative that works against humanity. I was on a roller coaster with this one, and I went every which way. Like, S.A. Cosby had me hanging by my toes. I couldn't tell you until the very end when it all played out who the killer was, and I love that about it. I love that S.A. weaves the story so well together that you're not necessarily focusing on who it is, but you're focusing on the journey and picking up as much information as you can so that once the facts are presented to you, you can make the case yourself and it can't be dissuaded. None of his main characters are without their flaws. So, and I love that he writes them so humanly that you're not going to follow them blindly, but you will understand their plight, understand their cause, and realize that they're trying to do the best that they can. And our male character is no exception. Okay, so now to jump into my top 10, I'm going to go in reverse order. Honestly, a lot of these can kind of shuffle around, but at my number 10 spot, this author I picked up for the first time, and I read 2 of her books. That is C.P. Harris. This is the Infidelity series. Yes, it centers cheating. I will tell you, this is also in one of my reading vlogs. It talks about the cheating trope, which I do not mind, but I do know that a lot of people don't like to read cheating trope. Know that just because you read it in a book does not mean that you support it in the real life. But C.P. Harris did her thing with The Good Liar. This is the first in the series, though. So this is Jasper and Cole's relationship. They are stepbrothers. And when I tell you move heaven and earth to make things happen, that is exactly what happens. Jasper and Cole were in love with one another. They met each other as step siblings later on in life. So I think they met around high school. They were always had some sort of attraction, but it really started to build once they went off to college. They actually broke apart because there was a major tragedy that happened. And one of the things I can say that CP writes this entire series so well that this was the first time I ever recognized what hurt comfort was. This is the staple for me or the benchmark of what hurt comfort is. The way in which she writes these two characters and the tragedy they go through, how it impacts each and every one of the members of their family differently, and how they take that and it becomes a deep-rooted seed. For one person, it brings them closer together, and it's that shared bond that they feel like that person feels like they can go through anything. And the opposite for the other pairing in this couple, they feel like this is a reason that signifies that they shouldn't be together. And it's that push and pull between the two of them. Cole is a top CEO of his father's company, and he has all of the things that he's ever wanted in life except the one person that he loved, which was Jasper. Now, Jasper is married and living his life in a completely different city. I believe that Cole says, hey, I'm going to move heavens and earth because we need to be together, and I'm going to make it so that I am a part of your life, whether you like it or not. You get to realize that Jasper's husband is kind of diabolical, and you get to see that you don't necessarily feel as bad between the cheating trope between the two of them. I adored this. Like, there are some scenes in here that like replay on a constant loop. When I tell you thunderstorms always hit for me thinking about this, I was like, yeah, I can see a reason why I would like thunderstorms too. So if you are interested in a hurt comfort that really gets down to the root and the bones, you are interested in soulmates that can weather the storm, pun intended, I will tell you The Good Liar is one that I would highly encourage you all to pick up. Now, coming in at number 9, this author hits it out of the park every time for me. And I will say that they actually made me enjoy small town romance. That's going to be Abby Jimenez's Part of Your World. This is what I read during the older woman, younger man trope. I had been seeing everyone love this one. And I knew that I had read Abby Jimenez before and I really enjoyed her writing. So I said, let me go ahead and pick this one up. And baby, I think this was probably one of the stars of that reading vlog that I had. Daniel, who is our main male character, he is everything. He is the younger man in this trope, but he is well established. He is the mayor of the town. He has such a big heart. He loves and adores our female main character, Alexis, and is willing to move heaven and earth to be with her. Now, Alexis comes from a big city, so she is pretty much like the heir to the, medical legacy in Milwaukee, I believe, or Minneapolis. And she is looking for a change of pace. She decides to take a vacation to a smaller town and she gets stuck. She gets a flat tire, and there she meets our main male character, Daniel. He is living in this Airbnb that he's been trying to fix up. He wants to make sure that he continues to have the doors open, and he allows Alexis to stay with him throughout this weekend. And from there, they begin to fall in love. She is torn about whether or not she should stay in town and really find her space and go against what her parents' wishes are, or if she should be doing what she's been kind of bought into and bred to believe, that she is the next person to carry on the torch within this medical community in the big city life. This brought me to tears, but it also helped me realize you have to live for yourself and your happiness, not those of others. It can be anything that you want, and you can still find your way in the world. And Abby Jimenez absolutely did that with Part of Your World. All right, coming in at number 8, Give Me More. Y'all, this is my favorite in the Salacious Players Club. Like, I know the girlies love Praise. I know the girlies love the second one, whatever that one is. That's my least favorite, honestly. But Give Me More? Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. This is Friends to Lovers Supreme. This is a polyamorous relationship between Drake, Hunter, and Isabel. Now, Hunter and Isabel have been married for 10 years. Throughout their 10-year, Drake has been the best friend of Hunter this entire time. So you know that the friendship is the foundation. The love, the trust, the communication between them is already there. But it hikes up another notch when Hunter finally says, okay, I think that my wife has been stating that her kink, or what she desires to try, is a threesome. I don't trust anyone more than I trust Drake. And honestly, low-key, Drake is a little bit interested. Now, he's fell in love and been in love with Hunter this entire time, but he knew that Hunter never had eyes for him, or so he thought. Now, when I tell you that All parties in this relationship feel comfort and secure within one another. There is no vying for the other person's attention. It is an ebb and flow. You get to see that Hunter and Drake have their love that is bar none soulmates. Even more so than Isabel and Hunter. And Isabel doesn't feel threatened. She also establishes her own relationship with Drake. And you get to see that there's a lot of quality time between the two of them. They start to explore a little bit more together where trust is starting to be built, and they both have the desire of wanting to make Hunter happy. Drake is your golden retriever energy type of guy. You've got Hunter, which is the silent, quiet stoker. And then you've got Isabel, who is the queen of the castle. And I love that she truly finds it in her heart to be able to share the love. I cannot tell you how much I love this. I think a lot of it stems from the fact that they were away from the club and you got to see them build their relationship organically and it just be centered on the three of them. No outside parties. So Give Me More is my favorite. Coming in at number 7. This next author was a new to me author, and I debated it. She has 2 books that I read this year. Both of them were 5 stars for me, and I debated on which one I wanted to put on this list, but I would be remiss if I didn't put Keisha Thompson's Defensive Stance. Baby, this checked off a lot of boxes that I didn't even know I had. Keisha did her big one with the fact that Sloane, who is our female main character, she is the ultimate girlfriend. Ride or die, truly down. She is legit a soldier, and I love her for it. Now, Sloane meets Dion, who is our aging out basketball star. They meet each other at the most unconventional place I've ever read from. Their meet cute started as they're flirtatious at anger management class. You heard me correctly. Both of these characters meet at an anger management class in which Dion is sent to anger management because he pretty much went off and cursed out a basketball fan who threw a drink at him. So reasonably so, he was already upset. He was also upset because he had some other personal things going on in his life at the time, and it was clocked on film, right? And then Sloane is coming to anger management as a part of her probation hearing. So she actually was sent to anger management class because she kind of tried to run over her, correctional officer with a car. But to be fair, she was sleeping with him and he was cheating on her. So I support women's rights and women's wrongs, and so I don't think that she's at fault here, but nonetheless, she's better off with Dion. Here you get to see that there is a discussion about what it's like for your woman to stand up on behalf of you, and even when you're not taken care of and looking out for yourself. This has a single parent trope. They take the family to Disneyland, but it starts off as a romance of convenience, and then from there, it continues to grow into a support system that has love and trust in between it all, as well as the spice in here is top notch. I don't think that I've read anything that holds a candle to what Keisha did in here. When I tell you this couple has it down packed in the bedroom, watch out. Coming in at number 6, Easy Like Sunday Morning by Kenya Bell. This is for my dark girlies. If you like dark romance, look no further. This is the one. If you like motorcycle romance, got you covered. Kenya Bell absolutely cemented her place as an auto read author for me by this particular series. Now, this is the second in the series. Again, I want y'all to be very clear. Do not believe that this is your light and fluffy romance. Nothing that Kenya puts her pen to the paper on is going to give you warm and fuzzies. It will make you warm, but it's going to make you hot and bothered in the collar. Because this one right here, you've got a virgin female main character that is traveling in town. She is a wholesome good girl. She is a church girl. Let me tell you, it don't get no cleaner and pure than Easy. She is traveling through her small town, trying to get back home. She lives about 2 hours or 2.5 hours away. her car catches a flat tire and the road is completely empty. There is not a soul passing through this town. So she gets out of her car and she is trying to figure out who can help her. Now she stumbles upon this biker bar. Now at this biker bar, there is a guy named Rocco who she went to high school with. And she's like, oh, finally a face that looks familiar. Let me see if he can help me out. Now Rocco is not trying to, he is Ray Charles. He cannot see her. He is not going to talk to her. He is trying to let her know, hey, sis, get back in your car. Wait to call AAA, call somebody else. Do not come in here because, baby, once you step foot in here, you for the streets. And I don't think that you want that about your life. And she is not catching the hint. She is like, what? Huh? No, let me go find somebody else. Who she finds is Angel. As a matter of fact, no, she don't find Angel. Angel find her. And Angel is like, okay, that's going to be my woman. Everybody knows if a woman walks into the bar, she is fair game. But Angel said, I'm going to lay claim to this one. And he did. And he did it in the most ridiculous way possible. And I loved every minute of it. He's the president of the motorcycle club. And he has been struggling because his regime is being tested by some old heads in the club. And he's like, let me lay the law and I'm going to do so with my woman easy on my side. And I want y'all to realize there's a new sheriff in town. And he is so possessive and obsessive. This man is unhinged and I loved every minute of it. He is the definition of I will scorch the earth for my woman. Come hell or high water, it does not matter where she goes. If she runs, I will find her. And he does just that. There's a scene in here where she takes off and baby, it's cat and mouse and I ate it up. Kenya Gorabelle knows the way to my heart. And when she wrote this book, she wrote it specifically for me. In my mind, there is a dedication at the beginning of the book and it's for me. So love this one. If you have not heard of Kenya Gorabelle, but you like dark romance, give her a shot. Number 5 is one that is getting the love it deserves. And I wish the world for Natasha Bishop because Only for the Weak, fantastic. Supreme book boyfriend Rome Martin. This, if there was a superlative for top boyfriends of 2023, it's going to be Rome Martin. He's going to be the winner. This man has every single love language down pat and he showers Janelle with them all. In addition to the romance, there is family drama in here. Janelle is on her way to Tulum to support her sister. Her sister is Bridezilla of the Century. And to top it all off, Janelle's sister is marrying Janelle's ex-boyfriend. So the audacity of her to not only act like a bee, but to do so in a fashion of getting married to my man, my ex-man. All right, show you right. Rome is the best man to the groom. Now, again, I know this sounds very, very messy. Let me tell you, it's not. These women and men are grown. Janelle has no interest in the groom. She wants her sister to be happy. Rome Martin has always been in love with Janelle. He really is here for her and nothing else. Coming in at number 4 is a book that broke my heart, but it was so beautifully written. The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. This one, tabbed down. Robert Jones Jr. did something amazing when it comes to the storytelling of this book. This is a romance between 2 enslaved men who are forbidden from loving each other for multiple reasons. But this is them telling the story of, their relationship on this plantation and how it is shown by everyone in the community and how it impacts and plays a part within everyone's lives and how one stone in the water makes a ripple and wave effect. This is a historical romance. It is entrenched in the life of being an enslaved person. So again, no one is happy, but there is love in this book and it bleeds through the pages, something fierce. Robert Jones Jr. wrote this with everything that he had. If he were to write down into the nubs, it would come through in this pages. And I hold this as a staple of something that needs to be talked about, and it needs to be dissected in class from an English writing standard as well as a historical context, because Robert Jones Jr. did the big one with The Prophets. Now moving on to something much, much lighter, much, much happier. Like, whereas The Prophets made me cry, this one had a cheese on my face from beginning to end. This is Love Radio by Ebony Liddell. This is what puppy love, first love, beautiful connection in a storyline. Love Radio is it, baby. When I tell you that this is made for us millennial adults, this is a young adult romance. However, it is written for my generation in mind. This is connection to music. It is connection to art. The dates that I want someone to take me on a library book date, and I want it to be done in this fashion. I swooned so hard for them that, again, I tabbed the mess out of this one. This one is top tier when it comes to young love. Look no further than Love Radio. It is time for my top 2. I want you to pause the video and tell me what you think the number 1 and number 2 is, because at this point, it should come as to no surprise. Like, I have been talking about these ad nauseum, and I really want to keep it short and sweet because I really don't want to sit here and play in y'all face like I haven't been telling y'all all year what my favorite of the years was. So, if you know, number 2 is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. This is the first in the New Haven series. Literally what put JL on the map for me. And ever since then, I consumed everything. Like, she don't have a book out that I have not read at this point. Now, granted, she is just getting started, but baby is churning and burning. She is putting things out at a record pace, and I'm keeping up. This is the romance of Dominic and Sloane. They are kind of enemies to lovers. Now, they have been in each other's orbit for 12 years, and in that time, Sloane was actually married to Dominic's best friend, Eric. Eric has since passed. Dominic really feels like it is his time to show Sloane that he is the man for her, that he has loved her this entire time. It was just right person, wrong time. And there's some circumstances that were holding them back. Y'all, J.L. Seegers wrote she left nothing unsaid in this book. Like, you get to see flashbacks in time of how Dominic was always on her side. Even if he outwardly showed that he didn't like her, he really was trying to keep his feelings at bay because he absolutely loved her and just didn't want to overstep his boundaries because he also loved his best friend, Eric. Coming in as number 1, I want to make a claim for Kennedy Ryan's Real. You all know I have loved and adored this. This is the forbidden romance between Kenan and Neva. Kenan is a film director, and he has been on the search to find his female main character that is going to play Desi Blue in this biopic. And he finds Neva, who is currently working in Broadway. This would be her first major breakthrough or big deal, and Kenan decides that this is the woman not only for his film, but this may just be the woman of his dreams, and he does everything within his power to kind of resist her, but he falls in love with her nonetheless, and their love story is one that just stands through the test of time. Like, this talks about the vows of marriage without them being married. Like, in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, these two are by each other's sides. They are crafting artwork and beauty, and they find it within each other. They're each other's inspiration and the reason why this film is going to go off, but it is not without a hitch. You get to find out that Kenan has been scarred in previous relationships. Working with other actresses, as well as his relationship with his mom, has really played heavily on who he is as a person and how he keeps people at a distance. And the same thing for Neva. She has a medical condition that is consuming her life, and she is trying to push through and make sure that she can film and give this film her all and everything. And she doesn't think that she can also find it in her heart to be able to do what she needs to do, as well as love Kenan. But by no means does that stop them from pushing forward, because their love is what makes them whole and gives them the opportunity to wake up and tackle the day. I absolutely adored this one. This one made me cry 3 times. Yes, you heard me. Like, I was a bawling, puddling mess. And for that, I love Kennedy Ryan, just because she can hurt me, but do it in the way that it's so soothing and comforting, and it's a balm to my soul, because this is what love is supposed to be. So Real is my top book of the year. I think after this, I should be done talking about it because we are now in 2024. But I am going to ask you all to do me a favor, because I want more people to talk about Love Radio. I do know that it's a young adult romance, but give me some sort of music note or headphones emoji, because this one is music to my ears and I absolutely love it. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.